Welcome to this video. This is being posted by Action Andrew's Video, being me, Andrew, and today's video we are going to cover the 6-speed transmission in this 2015 Dodge Ram 1500 single cab Hemi. And what's interesting about this is that most people don't know there actually is a 6-speed automatic option. If you get more of the higher level trims, anything past tradesman, it comes in the 8-speed automatic. Now there are many advantages to the 8-speed automatic, but I believe reliability is not one of them. People have complained a little bit about overheating, specifically in the trucks. And it's literally the same transmission out of their Chargers and Challengers. I don't know if I want a transmission that's in a sports car to be pulling a boat or anything like that. So, 6-speed transmission, big advantage of the whole thing is that it has a transmission cooler. And I'm going to do like a 15-minute drive to where I'm going. So at the end of it, I'll definitely show the temperature, the trans temperature through the navigation menu. So you guys can see that I've personally never seen it above 150 degrees. It keeps it super cool. The other, pro and con is that the gears are really long. And the con is that you can't really wind the motor out, and it's kind of sad. First gear goes to 55 and second gear goes to 95, so you don't get to really stay, above 4,000 RPMs that often. Now, the advantage to that is that it's keeping your RPMs low. And what that is doing is, one, giving you the best fuel economy possible, and two, it is like reducing the wear on your engine. Because if you're keeping your revolution, your RPMs really high all the time, all you're doing is wearing away the motor. So most of the time, you switch between gears, you never go above 2,500 RPM. Keeps it real low, and it makes it good for towing. Because when you're towing, it wants to stay at about 3,500 RPM, and it's making almost max torque there. So it really pulls well. I've trailered a few cars, and definitely didn't feel any different than just driving it normally. It has the power to do whatever you want it to. But the 6-speed transmission is definitely a different option. I did the quarter mile on this, and I'm not a professional driver or anything like that. I did like tow haul mode, traction control off, fed it in a little bit, and the best time I got was 15.2, and I think like 95 miles an hour. So it's slow in the quarter mile comparatively. I believe the 8-speed like non-RT, just like Joe Schmo single cab ones run like a 14.4. So 0.8 of a second in the quarter mile is a big deal. That's a really big game changer. So the 8-speed is definitely the more sporty feel. The gears are real quick, and I guess this is the next part, is like daily driving, because I test drove the 8-speed and I test drove this one, and this one is the one I would prefer to daily. The 8-speed's issue is that by 20 miles an hour, your truck has shifted 4 gears, and in a tall truck, like in a car, you wouldn't notice it, but this thing's like lurching. It's got 400 foot-pounds of torque. You can actually feel it in the single cab. Maybe in the double cab, there's just so much weight that it kind of flows with it, but this is just kind of the weight's off kilter. I don't know if that was the best description, because most of the weight's in the front. The bed weighs not that much comparatively to like the motor and all the stuff up here. So it just felt like really herky-jerky when I was driving it. I've also heard that the first 500 miles on the 8-speeds are just herky-jerky, and then they sort themselves out. But I didn't want to invest in a hope. The 6-speed, the shifting's really smooth. It just goes effortlessly, and it's good. And another thing to note is that when you go to get one of these, it says it gets 15 miles per gallon city and 22 highway. That's for the 8-speed. The 6-speed transmission, when you look it up, does not have a rating at all. There's a fire truck passing. So from my personal experience, again, this is just me. I switch between mid-grade and regular grade gasoline, and honestly, I can notice a difference by running mid-grade, and I thought that would be total like horseshit. In the owner's manual, it says to run mid-grade and that regular is acceptable, and it really does show when you're just putting your foot into it. You can definitely tell a difference, and the miles per gallon tracker definitely shows a difference as well. On the highway, when I'm running regular grade gas, I'm getting like 21.5 miles per gallon. If I run mid-grade on the highway, I'm averaging 23, and I've had trips where I've had like 24.5 miles per gallon, and it's crazy. This thing does absolutely phenomenal on the highway. Great gas mileage. It really takes the cons away of it being a big V8, because getting even 21 miles per gallon in a truck is great. Now city, you just get shit on. There is no way to sugarcoat it. If you drive like a complete pansy, you could maybe get like 15.8 or 16 miles per gallon, and if you're driving it just like normally, you're going to end up somewhere between 14.5 and 15 miles per gallon. And one thing I will note is that my exhaust on this, I just literally cut out the stock muffler and stock resonator, so it's just now like a straight pipe from the cat back. And my gas mileage went up 2 miles per gallon in both city and highway. Well, in the city it went up 2 miles per gallon, on the highway it went up 1 miles per gallon. So I have literally no clue why just removing a couple pieces of metal would change the miles per gallon that much. I know people exaggerate and say it adds a bunch of horsepower. To me, the difference is very unnoticeable as far as power goes, but I immediately saw the gas mileage change. It went from, I was getting like 13.4 miles per gallon city to 15.4, and I think on the highway I was getting like 20.5, and it went up to 21.5. So I would definitely recommend just getting a like muffler and a like muffler resonator delete. It was really cheap too. It was like 250 bucks. Wasn't anything crazy. The place did it in like 20 minutes. So no big deal. Alright guys, so just finished up the drive here. It's about a 15-minute drive if I had to guess. And I'm gonna go to the fuel info or vehicle info. And you can see right now the coolant and oil temps are they're above 200, so you can tell it's been on for a while. And the transmission's at 147. So it definitely, the transmission cooler keeps it nice and cool. I feel like the transmission is going to last a really long time, because combined with the transmission temp and the fact that the RPMs are always low, I just feel like it works very well. Alright. Alright guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. I'd really like to hear some feedback, how you guys like the video. I think right now the case I'm using on my GoPro is making it hard to see outside the windshield, so I'm going to try and do something about that in the near future to fix that. Again, if I get 100 subscribers, I'll get a legitimate microphone, and that'll solve all the audio issues. But yeah, I'd like to hear some comments about what future videos you'd like to see. It could be about this car. It could be about wanting to hear opinions of other cars. I know a lot of people are in the market, or everyone's always in the market for a car, so I could do some suggestion videos and big into cars and everything like that. So yeah, just any ideas. I'd definitely be willing to just, I go on late night cruises and stuff, so if there's a topic you guys wanted me to cover, even completely uncar related, just throw the GoPro there, go for a drive, and I'll give my 2 cents on it. So yeah, appreciate it guys. Thanks for watching.